Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and just a real quick video wrapping up the three-part series, the PSA challenge on, could we turn a profit by grading 35 base Julio Rodriguez and Bobby Witt Jr. cards from 2022 update. Just I'm going old school here, guys. I didn't want to bother doing this all on the computer. I figured I'd just print it out. It'll be real quick, but so if you haven't seen the other two videos, go ahead and check those back out. But just to kind of close the story on it, we kind of took a little bit of a risk here by doing the 35 cards at the $19 special, which was the only thing they had offered at that time. We'll talk about that in a minute, because it would have made a big difference if we had stuck, maybe waited it out or maybe not. It was kind of a timing thing. So the $19 was the best they had. Basically, we were in it for $665, and it was a combination of just base JROD, debuts, base rookies, Stars of MLB, inserts, really just like the normal base common cards, nothing fancy. When I had submitted it, the 35 cards, I was a little overconfident, thinking I'd be getting about a 75% gem rate, because we had done a lot of Julios in a previous submission, and I had it pretty dead on. I mean, I'd gone through a lot of update and thought all those cards were going to be really close to gemming. But I think the lesson learned here on that reveal was that when you send in a lot of cards of the same type, and we're talking like 11 base JRODs, you're not going to get all of them 10s, because you're giving the grader too big of a sample size to potentially nitpick on something. So we ended up only getting about a 55% gem rate, which did make things a little hairy. So I was a little nervous about this. We got 18 10s, 16 9s, and we even got an 8. We got 1 8 on the JROD base, which I was kind of shocked at, but we'll talk about that one in a minute. And so my strategy was simply to, as soon as the grades were available, get the pictures, make the listings. I wanted all these cards gone within 7 days. So I put a couple buy it nows. Some of the lower graded cards, the 9s, I put together in a lot of like 2 or 3. Like we had the Bobby Witt with the base and the insert and the rookie debut all together, and started at 99 cents and just let it roll. So that way I was getting people to start buying the cards as soon as I knew what the grades were. I didn't have to wait to get them. So that's why you can see here, basically in the span of 1 week, the first day went really well. Got 18 cards sold for $470. It's all on eBay, so we'll talk about the fees in a minute. And then basically started trickling in. I do a bunch of buy it nows on the 10s. And like I said, put auctions on mainly the 9s as lots, and then the 8, which like I said, we'll talk about that. I was kind of surprised how much that sold for. So first day was pretty good. Felt pretty good about it. Thought we weren't going to lose any money on this. Then we sold 4 more cards for $157, and then basically throughout that week, trickled down and got all but 1 of the cards sold. So we ended up selling 34 of the cards in the first week. The only lone man standing is the Bobby Witt international debut, international trading card day, which is funny because I got these cards for free from my LCS. This one and the Julio. Sold the Julio already for like, I think it was like $18. Basically just barely broke even, lost a couple bucks on it. But these are hard to 10. There's not a high pop on the 10s on these. So this one's just hanging around. Somebody wants it for $15, they could have it. But kind of just going real briefly down the list, there's a couple little standout here. The prices ranged everywhere from, I think, like $17, $15. You can kind of see a couple of here, like the Julios. The 10 Julios were going for 40 pretty consistently. A couple sold for 38. And then the Bobbies were kind of trailing behind by another $10. So luckily, I did have a couple good cards that were low pop that demanded a little bit of a premium. So we had Generation Now, which is PSA 10, got 55. Insert Julio 87 went for $50. Oh yeah, here you can see some of the Bobbies, mint 9s, $10. So you were losing money on those. Yeah, the Bobby Witt. Oh, I think I wrote that one. Oh, yeah, that was the Bobby Witt Stars of MLB PSA 9, $4. So again, total losers on some of these. And I knew that if it wasn't going to 10, it was going to be tough to get your money back. So a couple of these were stinkers, but then we did have some pretty good ones that made up for it. And at the end of the day, I was trying to find the PSA 8. Oh, yeah, look at this one. The PSA 8 Julio, I just threw up there for 99 cents, and it still sold for $15. So, you never know. All it takes is 2 people who really want the card. So that was kind of the range. Like I said, nothing crazy, but it was interesting. You know, some would argue, oh, I should have waited for the prices to get cheaper. Yeah, but now the prices for the cards have gone down too. So ideally, this would have been best to have done at the $15 rate at the end of the year and just load up on the Julios, and could have been selling those for $45, $50 a pop, no problem, in January and February. But right when the season started up, it was kind of like just the tail end, and the prices have dipped down a little bit since then. So that was kind of it for those. At the end of the day, basically, you know, did I make a profit? Yeah. Was it worth the time? Probably not. So you're looking at $853 total after the fees, $745, and then profit at $80. So yeah, we didn't lose money, but you know, taking in the time to just, you know, pack up the cards and ship them, because obviously listing them on eBay is pretty quick. But the big lesson for me and anybody, and it's kind of the obvious, is yeah, if the $16 grading had been available, or the $15 grading, it would have saved, you know, given me an extra $100 in my pocket just on the minimal cost. So like I said, probably would have been best to do it at 15, but it was a challenge to do it at 19, current environment, and just see what would happen. So at the end of the day, hey, it didn't lose any money. So, but the gem rate is what definitely threw me off. I was definitely expecting to come back with an 80%. And if that had been the case, we would have easily pocketed about $250 after fees. So we're going to keep on trucking, but that's kind of the finishing page on that little challenge. And what you see right here is go watch the next video. I am doing my 170 plus card submission with me and 5 other buddies. So this is just a sneak peek for that. We got a lot of new stuff, some old stuff, and some pretty high-end cards in here. Some of them are just crazy. I can't believe I'm actually have these on here. They're not mine, they're my buddies, but most of these are mine. So go ahead and check that other video, and we will be doing the submission video for this, and then hopefully in about a month and a half, we'll be doing the reveal video on these 170 cards. So anyways, just wrapping up the challenge. Made some money. Probably could have made more with a better gem rate, but hey, we didn't lose anything. It was still fun trying to work it all out. So anyways, folks, I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.